I hear this one quite a bit. David, why read a book when I could just read the book summaries? Or why don't I just pay someone to read for me and summarize it, right? Because Dave, don't I just need the quick little facts, the points? Here's the issue. Well, first, let's look at what we consider the most efficient people possible. Let's look at these billionaires. Do they pay someone to read for them? It makes sense, right? Because you're thinking, well, my hourly rate is $500 an hour. I'm a CEO, blah, 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 blah. So I shouldn't read because I'm losing money because I could be out closing a deal. But these guys, what is their hourly rate? They could make several $1 million an hour, but they still decide to read. They don't pay someone to read for them. Why? Because they want the reps. They want the reps for their brain. Books enhance their prefrontal cortex to make decisions better. That's why you guys are paying, why people that I work with pay thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to these consultants so they could use their decision making for them and outsource it. So with book summaries, the issue is that if you only rely on book summaries and you don't read physical books, you're missing out on details. You're also missing out on selling yourself of what is in the book. Because just the bullet point facts alone, you're like, okay, great, awesome. What do? You probably forget it because there's no logos, ethos, and pathos attached to these points. You didn't go through the story of the book that the book created. Think of a good book like a good presentation. Have you ever sat through a presentation and you were emotionally moved? But what if you just sat through a summary of that presentation? They just factually told you the logical stuff. Would it have hit as much? Would you have been as emotionally moved with just the summary? Most likely not. This is how our brains work. We need a mix of these things. Every book is an argument. They're making an argument. They have a hypothesis. They want you to believe in it, and they go through a sequence of information to get you. Logic. They include logic. Maybe there are facts. Maybe there is research. Ethos. Who is telling you this information? They tell you their credibility. They tell you all these things. So you're like, all right, this is believable. This is important. Maybe testimonials. And then pathos, the emotion, the stories, all these things. But a lot of people who only do book summaries, they cut out the ethos and pathos. They just go straight to logos. And they believe just because they kind of have some ethos, because they're like, well, I know this book is good, a lot of people talk about it. You're not emotionally moved, so the information is just going to drop out of your brain. Stop thinking about shortcuts. You're looking for shortcuts by only doing book summaries. Now here's how you could use book summaries to your advantage and still win. So right out the gate, this is what I tell a lot of people. Again, this whole playlist, people pay me thousands of dollars for, by the way. So good job on you getting this playlist. Book summaries are great for making sure you get the right book. You never buy a boring book again. So what I tell people is you actually need to be very skeptical with your books, which is why I have people pay me for building them a reading plan, because they'll ask for book recommendations, but I'll say, look, I don't really know your problems. I don't know you. Do you have a mentor? What have they recommended? And things like that, because you know yourself better than I know you, and you know other people don't know you. So if you have like a huge book list, how many times does someone recommend a book and you just take it down? One, what arena are they in and do they even know you? So right off the gate, we're talking about choosing books, right? So book summaries, let's go back to book summaries. It is how you use them. Use them to make sure you don't pick boring books. Use them so you know that this book will actually make you money. So I like to tell people read 3 to 5 book summaries before you even pick up a book, then look at the reviews, good and the bad, and start to process that information. And this will give you kind of a mind map and actually boost your comprehension when you do read the book. Now you've read the summary, now read the book. Don't outsource other people's decision making because someone else wrote that summary and then decided for you what was important. That's horrible. That is horrible. Never think book summaries are a replacement. Okay, otherwise don't even watch movies. Don't even watch presentations. Because why don't you just get the bullet point facts, the cliff notes? Doesn't work, there's no shortcut. All right, next video will be most likely about 7 scientifically observed differences of slow versus the fast reader. And that's from, I've read over 16 different books, not only on just on speed reading, but how the brain reads, the neuroscience of reading. And then I read almost every research paper and meta-analysis in existence around reading, reading rates, reading speeds, what are the scientifically observed traits of reading, and skilled readers. All right, I'll see you there.